this video, we're going to look at neuronal transport. And proteins and other molecules are transported through the axon by two mechanisms. One is axoplasmic flow, and the other one is axonal transport. Well, in axonoplasmic flow, this is rhythmic waves of contraction that push the cytoplasm from the axon hillock to the neuron endings. And of the two, this is the slowest. In axonal transport, this uses microtubules and molecular proteins, such as kinesins and dyneins, to transport things along the axon. And you might remember when we were talking about the cell and the organelles in the cell, these kinesins and dyneins were talked about there. And we're also using these same transport proteins within the axon. So what do kinesins do? Well, kinesins consist of 2 feet, a stalk, and a fan-like tail which binds to a vesicle and carries cargo away from the cell body. So you're looking at the cell body here, or basically like the nucleus or center of the cell is transporting away from that. Now if we're talking about the axon, it's transporting it away from the cell body along the axon. And we call this anterograde transport because it moves substances to the axon, and it can also move substances out into the dendrites. The key here is that you have to have that microtubule and this molecular motor called a kinesin, which you see here in this animation. It is a fantastic mechanism for moving things around in the cell. Well, dyneins are also molecular motors that transport vesicles toward the cell body. So there's a difference. Kinesins transport substances, vesicles, away from the cell body, whereas dyneins transport vesicles towards the cell body. And it's using the same highway system. It's using these microtubules. We call the way that dyneins transport, we call that retrograde transport because this carries substances such as the vesicles containing debris from the axon terminal and dendrites. It carries it towards the cell body for degradation by lysosomes. And here is an animation of how a dynesin moves along the microtubule. Let's test our knowledge on axonal transport. Pause the video and answer the following questions. Here are the answers. This concludes the video, and let me know if you have any questions.